Hell yeah, that's satisfying. Alright, I've done it. I've compiled a master list of every single thing, every single unique item, every single piece of equipment, every artifact, every key item, absolutely everything I'm missing from the DLC and from my items collection list for the DLC stuff. At least 75 things that we gotta go after, which is pretty impressive considering I've already gotten so much in the DLC. So we're going to start hunting those things down. There's a few things I have to craft as well with the materials that I have and the cookbooks that I have. So we're going to craft a couple things first, read some item descriptions, and then we're going to go set out into the Land of Shadow and start collecting artifacts. Okay, so the first thing we crafted is the Fingerprint Nostrum. Bullets engraved with whorl-like lines, craftable item, boosts mind, intelligence, faith, and arcane at the cost of gradual HP loss. The secret medicine of those who attempt to turn their human bodies into fingers. Ingesting causes something to wriggle within. Okay, next up we can craft a lulling branch with what we've got. Tree branch blessed with a velvety purple incantation, craftable item. Pierce oneself, causing a gentle buildup of sleep. FP gradually recovers during this time. When this sleep reaches the threshold of causing temporary fogginess, no FP loss is incurred. In the midst of drowsiness, there is the will to awaken, feelings that rise from the depths of one's heart. We can also craft golden grease, that's a new item. Solidified knot grease made from a mixture of holy resonant materials, craftable item. Coats armament, adding heavy, holy damage to attacks. The effect lasts only for a short time. Enchanted with an ancient Erd Tree incantation. Such ministrations are all but a lost art in the realm of shadow. Then we got the Eternal Sleep Grease. Solidified knot grease made from a mixture of deep purple materials, craftable item. Coats armament, inflicting eternal sleep. The effect lasts only for a short time. The weak are powerless to resist this velvety sleep, and will never be roused again. We also made some drawstring Eternal Sleep Grease and Dragon Communion Grease. The drawstring Eternal Sleep Grease is almost the same, just adding a note that a short string is attached to this lump. The Dragon Communion Grease, solidified knot grease made from a sharp gravelstone mixture, craftable item. Coats armament, granting a potent anti-dragon effect. The effect lasts only for a short time. The tool of the old Dragon Communion warriors, who are the agents of the ancient dragon's hatred for their low-born descendants. And lastly, we can craft a Sprite Stone. A Rao burrow inhabited by a sprite, craftable item. Uses FP to release a sprite that slowly homes in on enemies. After a short time, the sprite fades away into glittering lights, causing a spiritual explosion on its passing. According to its records left by Hornsent scholars, there were also contrivances known as bond stones that can manipulate the moment that the sprite vanishes. You know how in the last episode I said with confidence that there were absolutely definitely no dungeons left? Well, I put my foot in my mouth because there's actually one dungeon left, the Ruined Forge of Starfall Past, because we're missing a grace from said dungeon. As I went through and looked for all the things I was missing from the DLC, I came across this grace that we're missing, which means there's a dungeon associated with it. It'll be a Ruined Forge. And the reason that one doesn't have a summoning pool is because you can't summon inside the forges. It's a solo dungeon. So that's why it missed my thorough combing from the summoning pools before. It's literally the one exception that could provide us with extra content. So that's what I love about this game, because now we have an extra dungeon that we didn't even know about. So let's go track it down. It should be somewhere in this area of Shadow Altus. I think down here, actually. Can't believe we missed that. It seems like it's pretty obvious. Hopefully we can ride over easily from this grace. Morth Ruins. Should be here somewhere on the other side of the highway. Okay, it looks like this is probably it. Nice. Yeah, this is awesome. Brand new dungeon. I heard Ruined Forge of Starfall Pass. Nice, here we go. I heard some kind of beetle up above, so we'll have to find that after. Might be an Ash of War or something. Excellent, this should be our very, very last grace. There it is. We'll have to watch out for those big golem smiths, most likely. I guess there's misbegottens in here. Makes sense since it was being guarded by them as well. And interesting, the lever. There's a lever at the beginning. At the other forges, we had to journey through the whole forge to get to the lever. Smith script spear, nice, that was one of the things I was missing on my list. I was hoping there would be a few missing artifacts in this dungeon. Okay, so that opened a door down there, nice. How'd this guy get here? He must have climbed, yeah, I think there's a ladder over there. Then why did that next guy make a beeline through here when I opened the door? He got killed by this thing though. Look, that's weird. I guess they were fighting each other. Hit them where they're weakest. Okay, yeah, another troll. Golem. Guy has lava though. That'll be enough out of you, bud. Right. First golem down. These halberds are pretty decent against the golems. Restocking on some smithing stones, which is always good. Yeah, this person died. Most likely to that fire golem we just fought. Okay, we have a ladder there. Let's see what's back here first, though. Yeah, I knew there would be an ambush. And we can loot this corpse in peace. Somber Smithing Stone 7, nice. Maybe we can buy as many of those as we want, but saves us a few thousand runes. We are going to be getting max smithing stones at some point. Hopefully there's nothing behind me here. Okay. Looks like we're clear. Summer Smithing Stone 8. Excellent. Whoa, how did I not take damage? Okay, there we go. Gonna say there must be something. Smithing Talisman. Excellent, that was another one we were missing from our list. Another Smithing Stone 8. Oh, that's a normal, not a somber. Hell yeah. That's satisfying. Couple of nice smithing stones. 5, 6, and 7 all in one go there. Good stuff. And a message appraisal. The icing on the cake. You got bested by the fire golem. Oh, nice, another lever. I'm assuming that'll open up another door for us. Yeah, there we go. That big old anvil. Okay, yeah, this is the same room we were in before where I was wondering how to get up to those ledges, so mystery solved there. Although there's still something up there. Maybe this loops around or something. I almost missed that next lever. Oh, okay, that just closes this. But wait, I can use this to get up here. Sneaky. This looks like the reward at the end of the dungeon as well. Ancient meteoric ore greatsword and an ancient dragonsmithing stone. That's huge. Also another thing missing from our list, that greatsword right there. I was wondering where that was too, so that's perfect. We got 4 things from the list all in one go. We got 3 either weapons or talisman, and then I also got the grace site that we were missing. Now, I never got what was behind there, so I'm gonna have to loop around and get that. Okay, we just dropped down now. If we pull this lever, we should be able to open that door back up again. I think there was something back there. I don't want to put my foot in my mouth again, but I do think we've reached the end of the dungeons finally with this one. Must be something back here. See how this person died. Oh, that doesn't tell us much. Yeah, there's a guy. 2 guys. Okay. Satisfaction. Now, 1 guy left. Let's not have him ruin our day. Maybe I can sneak strike him. No, he found me. Let's just grab this quick. Smith Grip Circ, that was another one I was missing. Beautiful. Bringing our total to 5 missing things from this dungeon. Should be the last enemy in this dungeon, although... Is there something down there? Or is that just death? Damn, that guy really wanted to ruin my day, but we got him. Bunch of nice smithing stones, good stuff. Death ahead. Yeah, so I suspected. Let's see if anybody dropped down there and died. Yeah. Good, so that proves that all that is down there is death. And with that, I think we're ready to leave this dungeon. We'll go back to the round table hold and read our new item descriptions. Starting from the beginning here, we got the Smith Script Spear. Spear engraved with a Smith Script, a throwing weapon created through the smithing arts. Execute a strong attack, a dashing strong attack, or a mounted strong attack to throw the spear. Incompatible with Ashes of War that grants skills with an affinity. Skill Impaling Thrust, skill that lets piercing armaments overcome enemy shields. Build power, then lunge forward for a strong thrust that pierces an enemy's guard. We got the Smithing Talisman, a talisman depicting an ancient smithing hammer, inscribed with the Smith Script. Enhances weapon throwing attacks. In ancient times, smithing was a divine act, and blacksmiths interpreted the scripts they perceived in the wrinkles of molten steel to imbue weapons with souls. And the ancient meteoric ore greatsword, one of the treasures of the ruined forges. Greatsword of ancient meteoric ore, ending in a sharp point. Fashioned from an excavated shard of an arrowhead that once was a part of the old god's arsenal. A capable piercing weapon that excels at thrusting attacks. Unique skill White Light Charge. Summons white light from the crevice in the weapon's ancient meteoric ore, using its power for a charging attack which pierces foes. Additional input causes the light to explode. And then lastly we got the Smith Script Circ. Circular backhand blade engraved with the Smith Script. A throwing weapon created through the smithing arts. Execute a strong attack to throw the backhand blade, causing it to fly in a curved trajectory. Incompatible with Ashes of War that grants skills with an affinity. Skill Blind Spot. Leap into close quarters to take advantage of the enemy's blind spot and gore them from the side. Inputs determine which side you strike from. This attack slips below the opponent's guard. Alright, let me consult my list and we'll figure out where we're going next. Nice, I was looking in the shop to see what bell bearings I'm still missing, because I realized I forgot to compile a list of those. And I found that I had not ever acquired Aegon's harpoon, so we can look at that description. Great arrow that bristles with sharp gravelstone pieces, has an anti-dragon effect. The broken Drake warrior Aegon made these one by one in the midst of his agony, so that Bael the Dread himself would know fear. Yeah, I already discovered that I'm missing the Herbalist's bell bearing, and I'm sure there's a couple more, so we're going to keep perusing here. Nice, and with those 3 bell bearings that we have to go search out now as well, we have 131 items and artifacts in total to collect. But there's an asterisk between many of those. It's not like we have to go and collect all of those right now, because some require alternate pathways that we didn't access this time, so we won't be able to get them until Journey 7. Others require you to hand in remembrances, which we used for other rewards, so again we'll have to wait for Journey 7 for those. Others still are materials that need to be crafted. Once we get the cookbooks required, we'll be able to craft those right away, so that's kind of like a 2-for-1 every time we get a cookbook. And some we'll be collecting in bunches, like in the case of some armor sets. Let the hunt begin. Actually, I think I'll just tackle those 3 bell bearings right now, and the first one should be somewhere along this ridge line. We'll see if we can find it. The Herbalist's bell bearing. Guide said it was on the western wall. This is a western wall here. Yeah, I think that's it. Nice. So try and get it centered, and we'll use our trick. There we go. Perfect. Herbalist's bell bearing. Okay, the next one, the Greasemonger's bell bearing. Should be just south of the Church District High Road, near some wolves here. Dark and rainy, this is going to be easy to see. Probably have to pass the time and then... haven't found it yet. There's lots of wolves around. Probably on this wall somewhere. Yes, I see it over there. Okay, sweet. was thinking about trying to jump strike it, because it looks like you can, but you'd die falling down. So then we'll ride down. There it is, nice. Greasemonger's Bell Bearing. Perfect. One more to go. We're looking for the Spell Machinist's Bell Bearing. Interesting, it's in Rabat's Rise, which I already visited. I even visited the secret spot from the top, but maybe I missed the Bell Bearing somehow. Try again. Back to Marika's hometown. Definitely sketchy here, making our way down to Rabat's Rise safely. Okay, now to find the Bell Bearing. Yeah, like we came here to get the Anna and Jolan joint summon Spear Dash. I guess I just never jumped down here. Crazy. I probably thought it was the bottom part of the rise, so there was no need to. There we go, Spell Machinist's Bell Bearing. And that's it for our Bell Bearing hunt. We now have all the Bell Bearings that offer special items for sale that we didn't have access to before. There's one more thing I need to test with Bell Bearings. It's a bit grim, sadly, but I need to know if they updated the game so that all Bell Bearings, including merchant Bell Bearings and NPC Bell Bearings, I want to see if they persist from journey to journey, because if they do, I'd like to have a full collection of Bell Bearings. I'm going to test it on this nomadic merchant, sadly for him. Sorry friend, but take solace in the fact that you'll be alive again on Journey 7.
Please, I said don't hurt me. Could you? What have I ever done?
Brutal. So we'll offer Nomadic Merchant's Bell Bearing 1, and then we'll come back on Journey 7 to see if she still has his inventory in stock. Yeah, I'd love to just be able to buy arrows and bolts anytime, right here at the Round Table Hold. Before we trade in the other Bell Bearings, let's look at the descriptions of them. We've got the Herbalist's Bell Bearing, the Bell Bearing of a horn-scent herbalist who did not survive the war. Offered to the Twin Maiden Husks at the Round Table Hold to gain access to the following items: Rata Fruit. Greasemonger's Bell Bearing, the Bell Bearing of a horn-scent greasemonger who did not survive the war. Offered to the Twin Maiden Husks at the Round Table Hold to gain access to the following items: Root Resin and Knot Resin. And then Spell Machinist's Bell Bearing. Bell Bearing of the Spell Machinist Rabath. Offered to the Twin Maiden Husks at the Round Table Hold to gain access to the following items: Rabath's Great Bolt. Excellent. Okay, now we can trade them to her. And these ones will persist onto Journey 7, so I will always have access to that new inventory at the store here. You can see we can now buy Rata Fruit. We can now buy these Rabath's Great Bolts, of which I didn't have any before, so now we can get one of those in our inventory. Great Bolt tipped with a clump of glintstone shards, one of Spell Machinist Rabath's innovative designs. Detonates a large explosion on impact, dealing magic damage. Crossing things off the list.